Okay, Mr. Wayne here with New Thought Society. It is 1:08 in the morning. We are now on Tuesday, January 28th, and I wanted to make this second vlog video again. I am documenting my progress when it comes to creating and building new thought, and I want to talk about how I see this thing manifesting for me. I just started again with the master key system. And when I mean start, I mean making a video documenting my progress going through this program again. And I just read the biography of Charles F. Hannell and the introduction about an hour and a half ago. And we are moving forward with reading the books, making videos and commentaries about the book, and explaining what is being said and what is being taught, these principles for manifesting these spiritual principles that are needed for manifesting the life that we want to bring to us, the desires of which we wish to realize. And then right now, I just finished recording chapter 5 of A History of the New Thought Movement. This chapter is entitled oh my gosh, I am a little bit exhausted. I'm tired. What is it entitled? Oh man, you go ahead and laugh at me because I'm laughing at myself. The Beginning of Christian Science. That's what it is entitled. And man, I gotta tell you, it was one long chapter. And before I started making videos tonight, I had got our training in. We hit legs today, and we're feeling really good about our legs. We're feeling very strong. We did a lot of squats. We did hamstring curls. We did some goblet squats, and we did some glute exercises, some glute extensions. And right now, with the last 2 hours of sitting, in the last hour and a half of sitting, in the last hour and a half of just doing nothing but talking and speaking, I am feeling the tiredness of my vocals, right? My hip flexors are killing me. I know I just need to get up and stretch it, and I need to eat too. But regardless of all that, we will get that done. But I needed to get this done really quick. We started with documenting our process again. Okay, like I said in the beginning. Now bear with me. But how I see New Thought Society manifesting for me. 2.5 months ago, we had started up with building this again. In the course of the last 2.5 months, we have been building our website. We have been reading books. We have been developing ourselves and building ourselves. These books take time to make. These audiobooks take a minute to make. It's not something that just happens right away, nor is it really as simple as one might think it is. There's a lot that goes into making these books. Now, the foundation for this society is going to be these audiobooks, because New Thought in this movement had a lot of people involved in it, even had pastors involved in it. It had people from different philosophies, different cultures, different religions that were interested in what was brought about by this movement, that were interested in this movement for what it was doing and the principles that it was proving, the practicality of it. That's what it is, the practicality of this movement. right? Because everything about New Thought is practical. These are things that you don't need to speculate and theorize. These are things that these are principles that you need to understand and practice and apply. And that's the power of it. That's the power of this. That's the power of what we have. That's the power of what we're doing. And I've been taking these principles and have been applying them. And through the process of applying them, I feel myself changing in these last 2.5 months, engaged in the audios, reading the books, listening to these chapters over and over again, making sure there's no mistakes, making sure it flows to the best that I can have it flow for you to listen to. And then today, getting in front of you, reading and explaining what is being read, and talking about it, right? I'm becoming more and more of what New Thought is. I'm becoming more of what I want for this society and what I want this society to be. Now, we know the law of attraction, the law of cause and effect. These are laws that they're universal laws, they're principles that work regardless. They work no matter what. They're working in our lives right now. What is important is for us to be the right person, to have the right mental attitude when it comes to the things that we wish to manifest. Because we know that whatever thought we think is vibrating throughout the infinite mind, is vibrating out across this consciously living substance, which the Christ called as the living God. All space is filled. Science today calls it the quantum field. All space is filled with a living, conscious intelligence. It's a substance. There's no such thing as empty space. All space is filled with this fluidic, conscious presence. We know this presence to be omnipresent. We know this power to be all omnipower. We know this intelligence is omniscient and omniscient, omnipresent. What was the other one? There was another one. Omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent. Right? It's infinite in its wisdom, it's infinite in its power, it's infinite in its presence, and it's also an immortal power. It was here since the beginning of all time. It's going to be here at the end of all time, because really, time is never. It's just, this power just is what it is, in the presence of this conscious, infinite conscious thing that we all live in. Just, it is what it is, right? It's just here, and it's always going to be here. And we know that all matter, everything that we see that is material, is made out of atoms, and those atoms are made out of subatomic particles, and those subatomic particles are all vibrating. So this seeming external world we see is a vibration. It's vibrating, and we're seeing matter, and what we perceive is what our mind is seeing it as, is what our mind is making it to be. Because we know our brain and everything, all that is electrical signals. The difference between sound and light is simply its rate of vibration. The difference between us and everything else is our rate of vibration. We know when it comes to manifesting things, we have to enter into a certain state of vibration. We have to become parallel with the things that we want to manifest. We have to become one with it. We have to become vibratory with those. We have to vibrate. We have to resonate with those things. Now, as conscious beings, with our power to think, with our power to visualize, with our ability to imagine and formulate mental pictures, We can, this is our power. We can move ourselves. We can legitimately create our own mental states. We can legitimately create our own mental attitude and enter into a specific rate of vibration ourselves. Excuse me. We can conscientiously enter into a state of vibration. And that is where our focus needs to be. Our focus needs to be on entering into that state of vibration, entering into that state of being, entering into becoming the person you want to be, to manifest and achieve the things you want to manifest and achieve. Ultimately, what I'm saying is our main focus needs to be on ourselves. Our main focus needs to be on the mindfulness and the relaxation that we have to have in our mental states. Because when we're mindful of our thoughts and we're disciplined in our thinking and we're choosing to focus on what it is that we are going to think, the mental pictures we are going to choose to have, the character, the attitude, the behavior of which I am going to embody, because we know our behavior, our mental attitude forms the paradigm of our mental hardware, our character, so to speak, and that character is going to manifest in the external world. And due to our behavior, it's going to influence the environment, and through being and the law of attraction, we will not only attract the things outside of us that resonate with our frequency, but we also legitimately become the person we need to be to bring it to us, to have it, to act upon it, to be it. And I see that happening for me as I continue towards this process. And you could do anything, viewer. There's absolutely nothing that you are not capable of doing as long as you are able to imagine and use the power of imagination to formulate the mental picture of which you desire to create, and in your discipline to think what you need to think. Remember, we become what we think about. We have to think about the things that we want most of the time. You have to think about what you want. You have to think about who you want to be. No, obviously, for granted, you need to know who you need to be. You need to know what you want to be. And you need to write it down. You need to focus on it. And you write it down and you repeat it to yourself. And you think about it often until it becomes a subconscious thinking habit, to where you'll just be thinking about it automatically. You wouldn't need to will that thought to be thought anymore. You just subconsciously, automatically operate from that train of thought. Now, an example of this, I know a lot of you might think it's strange, but the principle is the same. I don't know if you watch Dragon Ball Z. I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z. It is one of the absolute most awesome anime that's out there. But there is a series when they're training to fight Cell and Goku, the main character. Well, they're all pretty much the main characters. Goku and his son Gohan are training in the hyperbolic time chamber, and they train to the point to where they're always in the state of Super Saiyan. Now remember, I'm using this as an analogy. I'm using this to explain the principle of what I am trying to get across when it comes to you, viewer, to create higher things in your life, to manifest a higher life. Because it starts with your thinking, and it starts as Goku and Gohan train to always be in a state of Super Saiyan, to naturally live from that higher form. It's the exact same principle with you. You have to train your thinking and direct your thinking towards living the higher form of which you want to be. Because you have to change. You, viewer, have to be willing to change who you are now in order to receive the good of which you desire. Remember, it comes in accordance with who you are. We don't always get the things that we want, but we always get the things which we are. So what that means, for you to get the things that you want, you have to become the person necessary to have and achieve those things. A lot of people want to be something, but not all of them are willing to make the sacrifices to be it. Not all of them are willing to take the time to change in order to become it. You, viewer, you have to go through that process. I have been going through that process, and I am proof that as you go through that process and you continue through it, these things will manifest for you. As long as you continue in it, as long as you think about it, as long as you make the sacrifices to become it, there is nothing that can stop it but you. Only you can stop it by changing your mind again, by changing your direction, by changing your attention, by changing your mental attitude. Your attitude is what is necessary for you to get what you want. Oh, man. I'm tired. I'm gonna leave this here. I need to eat. I have work tomorrow. I work in the morning. And oh, I don't know if you heard that, but my stomach just growled. Now, real quick, this box that I'm in, this is the mastermind box. This is the reading room. This is where all the magic happens when it comes to creating this channel for New Thought Society. This box started out as an idea for me. One of my best friends, he's an actor. He's a professional voiceover. And he gave me the idea of doing this. And I acted upon that idea. My mind was influenced by his mind. And I understood the importance of the idea of which he suggested to me. And I thought about it. And out of thinking upon the idea, I naturally developed more and more ideas around the fulfillment of the main idea. Because this mastermind box that I made, right, it's cardboard. I put together a bunch of cardboard. There's a lot of cardboard. There's a lot of tape. I have wood on the bottom. I glued and taped wood to the bottom. Now, I made this to be portable. I made this so I will be able to take it apart and take it anywhere else if I need to. And this is soundproof foam. And the purpose of these soundproof foam is to capture all the sound particles, to capture echoes from happening, is to enclose what I'm saying, right? To enclose what I'm saying in a smaller space, and to also keep it from echoing, to keep the outside from interfering with these audiobooks, because I want to bring quality audiobooks to you. And the beauty of this too is also a wonderful place to meditate. Being in the silence in this place could, it definitely could take you somewhere mentally and help you change your mental attitude through the process of these spiritual principles. But the reason I share that is because for me, it started as an idea, and I acted upon the idea, and the idea became just what you see now, right? Like I put it in motion, I took action on the thought, and now I'm sitting in this room, this box, this amazing mastermind box, the reading room, where the magic for New Thought Society happens. It started as an idea, and I acted upon it. Sharing that as an example of just act upon your idea. You'll become better as you go along. But all right, we're at 20 minutes. Let's go ahead and end this now before I talk for another 20 minutes and get hungry and hungrier and whatnot. Anyway, have a good night.